The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Before the noise, before the news, before the texts and the to-do lists, there is a sacred moment where your mind, your spirit, and your direction are vulnerable to influence. And in that moment, what you do matters. Because you're not just waking up your body, you're waking up your destiny. You're setting the emotional and spiritual atmosphere for your entire day. If you wake up rushed, your day will feel frantic. If you wake up anxious, your day will be colored with fear. But if you wake up blessed, if you wake up and acknowledge that today is a gift, not a given, then the entire tone of your day changes. You become intentional. You move with power. You speak with clarity. You walk with authority because you didn't just stumble into your day, you stepped into it with spiritual awareness and divine alignment. Gratitude in the morning is not just a feel-good practice, it's a weapon. A blessed morning begins with a heart that recognizes it didn't have to wake up, but did. That breath you just took, that's mercy. That rising sun you barely noticed, that's grace. When you start with gratitude, you open the door to peace. Because your mind shifts from what you lack to what you have. Gratitude lifts you above stress and positions you to receive. It tells your spirit there is already enough. Even if everything isn't perfect, the world will try to rush you, stress you, distract you, but gratitude grounds you. It keeps you anchored in what matters. When your first words are thank you instead of what now, you enter the day with favor already flowing and heaven already listening. Your first thoughts can either build your faith or feed your fears. So many people wake up and immediately scroll, compare, complain, or panic. But your mind is fertile ground in the morning. Whatever you plant there grows. If the first thing you feed your soul is fear, doubt, and chaos, don't be surprised when your day spirals in that direction. But if you begin with faith, even a whisper of it, you build a foundation that fear cannot shake. When you say, God, I don't know what today holds, but I trust you, you are putting fear in its place. You're not ignoring reality, but you're choosing to filter reality through faith. And that small shift, it makes a massive difference. The way you think in the morning becomes the soundtrack of your whole day. Don't let fear have the first word. Give that honor to faith. Speaking blessings over your day is not superstition, it is spiritual strategy. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and your words have creative authority. When you wake up and speak life over your day, you are partnering with heaven to align your reality. Say it out loud, today I am covered. Today I walk in purpose. Today I am protected, favored, and led. This is not just motivation, it is activation. When you speak blessings, you remind your soul who you are and whose you are. You set boundaries before problems arrive. You declare victory before battles begin. You're not pretending everything is perfect. You're proclaiming that no matter what happens, you are blessed. And when you say it, believe it. Speak it until your mind aligns, your spirit agrees, and your actions reflect it. Silence, prayer, or meditation in the morning is not a luxury, it's a necessity. The world will scream at you all day long, but the voice that matters most is the still one you hear before it all begins. That early silence is where strength is born. That whispered prayer, that deep breath, that quiet surrender, it grounds you, it equips you, it gives you peace that chaos cannot cancel. When you center yourself spiritually before stepping into the physical world, you carry a quiet power into everything you do. You are less reactive and more reflective. You listen more. You rush less. Because you made space for God, now you're not scrambling for direction. You already received it. That spiritual stillness early in the day doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser. And wisdom protects what strength alone cannot. When you acknowledge God first, you invite divine direction. Before you reach for your phone, reach for Him. Before you scroll, surrender. Before you go into problem-solving mode, go into prayer. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. It's about placing the Creator before the calendar, the Master before the meetings. When you put God first, He doesn't come second in your day. He takes over. He guides the conversations, the decisions, the responses, the encounters. Things align in ways that make no sense logically, but feel orchestrated spiritually. Opportunities find you, protection surrounds you, and peace follows you, not because you figured it all out, but because you acknowledge the one who already has. Don't just say, God is with me. Show Him that He's first. Start with purpose, not panic. The world says, wake up and hustle. Heaven says, wake up and hear me. Purpose is not rushed, it's intentional. And panic is not powerful, it's exhausting. If you start your day already behind, already overwhelmed, already chasing the clock, then your peace is gone before the sun even rises. But if you wake up and say, I'm here for a reason, today has meaning, I will move with clarity, not chaos, then everything shifts. You stop performing for approval and start walking in identity. You stop chasing and start choosing. You begin to value moments instead of just checking off minutes. Purpose sets the tone that says, I don't have to do everything. I just have to do the right things. And when you begin your day with that kind of focus, stress loses its grip. A blessed day doesn't mean a perfect day. It means that even if everything goes wrong, you don't. A blessed day is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of peace. It's not about avoiding problems. It's about being equipped to face them. Being blessed means you are covered, even when things get complicated. It means you have favor that fights for you when you don't have strength to speak. It means that your steps are ordered, even when the road feels unfamiliar. Don't confuse comfort with blessing. Sometimes the most blessed moments come through the most uncomfortable places, because being blessed is not about circumstances. It's about position. It's about knowing that no matter what, you are walking under divine covering. That alone changes how you handle everything else. Choose peace over pressure. The minute you wake up, there will be pressure, emails, deadlines, drama, demands. But you have a choice. You can choose peace. Peace is not passive. It's a power move. It's saying, I will not be ruled by chaos. I will not be hijacked by stress. I will not let the world dictate my emotional climate. You don't have to react to everything immediately. You don't have to carry burdens that aren't yours. You don't have to solve problems before sunrise. Peace says, I will breathe. I will trust. I will listen. I will move when led, not when pushed. That choice, to prioritize peace over pressure, sets a tone of resilience. It means you enter the day grounded, not grasping, whole, not hurried. And that strength cannot be shaken by what lies ahead. You don't need to control everything. Start your day by trusting the one who does. Control is an illusion that exhausts the soul. Trust is a surrender that strengthens it. When you wake up trying to manage, fix and predict every moment, you step into a role that was never yours to carry. But when you wake up and say, God, I release today into your hands, everything softens, not because life gets easier, but because you stop gripping so tight. Faith is not ignoring responsibility. It's acknowledging that even your best effort still needs God's intervention. Trust says, I'll do my part, but I won't panic about the rest. And that trust, that's what turns an ordinary morning into a blessed beginning. Because now you're walking with the one who holds the day, not just reacting to what it throws at you. Every single morning is a miracle. You're not just opening your eyes. You're stepping into opportunity. You're stepping into purpose. You're stepping into battles already won. Blessings already prepared, strength already provided. But how you step matters. Don't stumble into the day with the weight of yesterday and the fear of tomorrow. Step in with confidence. Step in with intention. Step in knowing you are chosen, equipped and deeply loved. Start your day not just with coffee, but with calling, not just with hustle, but with hope, not just with motion, but with meaning. And when you do, you'll realize that being blessed isn't about avoiding hard things. It's about knowing who is with you through them all. Start your day blessed, and watch everything change in the morning. Invites peace, clarity, and favor. It sounds simple, but it holds spiritual power. Before the noise of the world invades your mind, before people place their expectations on your shoulders, and before the stress of the day even has a chance to rise, gratitude resets your spirit. When your feet hit the floor, and your first thought is thank you, you are no longer reacting to life. You are commanding it. You are telling the enemy, the atmosphere, and even your own emotions that you are grounded in something deeper than circumstance. You're not waiting for something good to happen. You're recognizing that something good already has. You're breathing. You're alive. And the fact that you woke up is not ordinary. It's divine. Most people wake up focused on what they lack. They wake up with thoughts like, I didn't get enough sleep. I have so much to do. I don't want to deal with this today. But when you wake up with gratitude, everything shifts. You stop magnifying what's missing and start acknowledging what's present. You start your day not with depletion, but with abundance. You realize that even though you might not have everything you want, you have what you need to begin. Gratitude opens your eyes to see blessings that stress tries to blind you from. It doesn't mean you ignore your challenges. It means you refuse to let those challenges steal your focus. Gratitude is resistance against the lies that say you're behind, you're not enough, or today is doomed before it starts. No, gratitude says, I am here and I'm already winning. There is a supernatural peace that comes with gratitude. When you start your day saying thank you to God, before checking your phone, before planning your day, before jumping into the chaos, your soul exhales. There's a calm that floods in, not because everything is perfect, but because you are postured correctly. That peace is not weakness, it's armor. It guards your heart against anxiety. It protects your mind from spiraling. It gives you the clarity to see that no matter what is ahead, you are not facing it alone. And when you carry peace, you walk differently. You speak with more grace. You react with more wisdom. You move with more discernment. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of God, felt deep in your bones, before a single challenge shows up. Gratitude also sharpens your clarity. When your mind is cluttered with complaint, you can't see opportunities. When you're focused on what's going wrong, you miss the doors opening right in front of you. But gratitude clears the fog. It helps you notice the small wins, the subtle progress, the divine alignments you'd normally overlook. That conversation that seemed random, gratitude helps you see it as an answer. That delay that frustrated you, gratitude allows you to see it as protection. You begin to view life not through the lens of what's wrong, but what's working. That clarity affects every decision you make. You stop being reactive and start being reflective. You stop living on edge and start living in purpose. Gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it transforms your mindset. And then there's favor, divine favor that gratitude attracts. God doesn't move through entitlement. He responds to humility. When you wake up saying, Lord, I don't take this day for granted. Thank you for breath, strength, and the chance to grow. You catch his attention. A grateful heart draws the supernatural into the natural. It opens doors no man can shut. It aligns your steps with provision. You begin to see divine connections happening. Calls returned you didn't expect. Ideas dropping into your spirit. People showing up to help at the right time. That's not coincidence. That's favor. And it flows more freely when you're walking in gratitude, not grumbling, because God blesses those who remember who the blesser is. Gratitude also breaks the cycle of negativity. Many people are stuck in loops, waking up dreading the day, feeding anxiety, rehearsing old failures, and predicting disaster. But when you start your day with gratitude, you interrupt the pattern. You say no more. You declare that your spirit is in charge, not your emotions. You take authority over your attitude. And the beautiful thing is this: gratitude multiplies. The more you express it, the more reasons you find to keep expressing it. It becomes contagious to your own heart and to others around you. People feel it. They see the light in you. You become a thermostat, not a thermometer. You don't just reflect the temperature of your surroundings. You set it, and it all starts with the choice to say, "Thank you," instead of "Why me?" When you start your day grateful, even challenges are redefined. You stop seeing problems as punishments and begin seeing them as platforms. You understand that being alive means having another chance to grow, to forgive, to build, to lead, to love, to overcome. You don't shrink from the day. You step into it boldly because your perspective is lifted. Gratitude reminds you that the same God who got you through yesterday is still in control today, that your past is proof of your resilience, and your presence is proof of your purpose. And even if today brings pain, it will not be wasted. Gratitude makes you see even your wounds as part of your worship. So don't underestimate the power of gratitude. It doesn't mean you ignore the hard things. It means you refuse to be defined by them. It means you put praise before panic. It means you open your mouth before your problems do. It means you are not starting your day on empty. You are starting it full of perspective, full of strength, full of favor. Gratitude is not weak, soft, or passive. It is one of the most powerful spiritual weapons you have. It silences complaining. It drowns out fear. It stabilizes your emotions. And it honors God. Gratitude doesn't just bless your day. It blesses the world through you. Because a grateful person carries light. And this world desperately needs more of it. So tomorrow morning, and every morning after, wake up and start there. Not with your schedule. Not with your stress. Not with your worries. Start with your gratitude. Say, "Thank you, God. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for what I've survived. Thank you for what's coming. Thank you for being with me." And watch what happens. Your peace will rise. Your clarity will sharpen. Your favor will flow. And your day, no matter how it looks, will be covered, protected, and profoundly blessed. All because you chose to begin with gratitude. That one choice can shift your life. Starting one morning at a you acknowledge God first. You invite divine direction. That single decision to place God at the center of your morning shifts the entire atmosphere of your day. It's not just a ritual. It's not just habit. It is alignment. When you pause to say, "God, lead me," you are doing more than speaking words. You are surrendering control, submitting your ego, and allowing the Creator of heaven and earth to guide your next steps. You are saying, "God, before I act, before I plan, before I speak, I need you." And that posture of humility is powerful. It attracts wisdom. It invites peace. It commands clarity. It silences confusion. And most importantly, it places you under divine covering. When God is first, chaos doesn't get the final say. Purpose does. Too often, we start our day by checking notifications, scanning through social media, or rushing through tasks. We wake up reactive, pulled in 1,000 directions, letting the world dictate our focus before we've even found our center. But what if we flipped the order? What if before the noise, we sat in stillness? What if before we reached for the phone, we reached for the throne? When you start with God, you're not just starting with peace, you're starting with power, because He sees what's ahead before you do. He knows which conversations will bless you, and which ones will distract you. He knows which doors you should walk through, and which ones will waste your time. And when you invite him into the start, he steers you clear of danger you never even saw coming. Divine direction doesn't always come in thunder. Sometimes it's a whisper, a nudge in your spirit, a pause before you speak, a quiet knowing not to go somewhere, or not to trust someone. When you start your day with God, you become more sensitive to those promptings. You don't live recklessly. You live intentionally. You don't chase validation. You chase instruction. And that shift protects your purpose, because the greatest threats to your calling often come disguised as good opportunities. But when you're tuned into God, you stop being led by pressure and start being led by peace. You move slower, but stronger. You may not always understand the route, but you trust the guide, and that trust becomes your anchor. When life feels uncertain, acknowledging God is more than just saying a prayer. It's making a declaration. I am not doing this alone. That truth changes your confidence. You walk into rooms differently. When you know you're not the only one walking, you face battles with a calm that doesn't make sense, because you're not relying on your own strength. You're standing in divine strength. That's why some people look at you and wonder how you're not falling apart. They don't see the one holding you together. They don't hear the early morning conversations you have with God, the tears, the surrender, the trust. But that's where your power comes from. You don't perform for peace. You pursue His presence, and that presence covers you like armor. Direction from God also gives you discernment. It sharpens your ability to recognize what is sent by Him and what is sent as distraction. Not everything attractive is an assignment. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Some doors are traps in disguise. Some people are assignments from the enemy, sent to waste your energy, drain your time, and confuse your heart. But when you've acknowledged God first, your spirit gets louder than your emotions. You can feel the unease, the tension, the misalignment, and you have the courage to walk away. You no longer need to force what doesn't flow. You don't chase. You don't beg. You follow peace, and peace doesn't lie. That's the power of divine direction. It protects your destiny by helping you recognize distractions early. There's also divine efficiency in starting your day with God. What takes others 10 steps can take you 2. What overwhelms others, you walk through with ease, not because you're better, but because you're guided. You're not operating in hustle. You're moving in harmony. You know when to speak and when to be silent. You know when to step forward and when to stay still. That kind of wisdom isn't taught, it's revealed, and it only comes from the one who sees the whole picture. The more you acknowledge God, the less time you spend trying to fix what He could have prevented. Divine direction eliminates detours. It saves you from unnecessary heartbreak, wasted effort, and broken focus. There is a humility in starting with God, and humility attracts heaven. The proud rely on their own understanding, but the wise lean on divine insight. And when you humble yourself each morning and say, God, I don't know what today holds, but you do. Lead me, something powerful happens. Heaven responds. Angels are assigned. Strength is released. Strategies are downloaded. And the Spirit of God begins to go before you, clearing paths and aligning moments that you could never orchestrate on your own. That's not superstition. That's scripture. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. Proverbs 3:6. That's a promise, but the promise is conditional. You must acknowledge Him first, and don't think for a moment that God is too busy for your day-to-day. He is not just the God of eternity. He is the God of today, the God who cares about your meeting, your job interview, your class presentation, your parenting decisions, your financial choices, your health journey, your relationships, your mental well-being. Nothing is too small for His attention. And when you welcome Him in, He doesn't show up halfway. He shows up fully, guiding your words, calming your fears, whispering reminders,
that you are not forgotten. That is divine direction, and that level of presence only comes to those who invite it. Some days will feel chaotic, no matter how much you prepare, but divine direction doesn't mean life is perfect. It means you are prepared. You are armed with truth, strengthened with peace, surrounded by wisdom, and guided by a hand that never shakes. So when the storm comes, you don't panic. You anchor. You remind yourself that you didn't start this day on your own, and you're not finishing it alone. That's the confidence of those who begin their day with God. They are not shaken by shadows. They are grounded in light. Every single day you wake up is an opportunity to align, to reset, to ask for wisdom, to receive clarity, to walk in purpose. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a divine one. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to know the one who does. And that kind of direction only comes when you choose, intentionally, to seek God before you seek anything else. Before you reach for your to-do list, reach for His presence. Before you run toward your goals, sit in stillness with the one who gave you the vision. That stillness is where strength is built, and strength built in stillness is strength that lasts when storms rise. So tomorrow, and every morning after that, pause. Before you let the weight of the day fall on your shoulders, lift your heart and surrender. Say, God, direct me today. I invite you into every part, my thoughts, my decisions, my steps. Let nothing move ahead of you. Let nothing distract me from you. Speak to me, lead me, align me, and then trust. Walk in peace, move with clarity. Let that divine direction be your compass, your comfort, and your strength. Because when you start your day acknowledging God, you never walk blind. You walk blessed. And in that kind of walk, no weapon formed against you can prosper. No distraction can derail you. And no darkness can dim the light that goes before you.